Fishing Doctor's Adventures. Today is my last day fishing in Montana. We're still here for a couple days, but I won't be fishing after this. So stick around because we're gonna go after some cutthroat trout, West Slope cutthroat trout, and grayling. Put in some time this morning because there is supposed to be a winter storm warning starting at 11 a.m. So I'm gonna get out to the lake, fish hard, and depending on how that storm rolls in, might have to call it a day early. So stick around, should be fun. Let's go catch them. I haven't caught grayling ice fishing for a long time, and West Slope cutthroat trout, I don't know if I've ever caught those ice fishing, so let's go get them.
Your route may be affected by winter storm warning.
And we have arrived. This is a nice little lake. It's actually maybe bigger than I expected. So let's get out there, get the lines in the water, see if we can catch an Arctic grayling and a West Slope cutthroat trout. Super warm today compared to the last few days, 28 degrees Fahrenheit. So definitely the system pressure change has happened. Storm is likely rolling in. Super calm right now, but it could get really windy and snowy later. Some days, as in a lot of my videos, fishing can be really good during these crazy types of weather changes. So I'm hoping today is the day we just smash a bunch of fish. Should be fun. Okay, so I just walked out to a place where there's a large weed bed. And I'm right on the edge of the weed bed, and I'd Google Earth, and I picked the most jagged edge of the weed edge. So where the deeper water goes into the weed bed, so the weeds are more sparse. I have a feeling that's where the trout will like to cruise in amongst those weeds. So I'm hoping the grayling like that kind of area too. So I'll set up a couple jaw jackers to start. I'll drill a bunch of holes so that I can hop around and find the fish. And I'll set up an underwater camera to see if I can't capture some of the activity down there, see what's going on, see if there's any cutties or grayling swimming around. Lots of ice here, wow. That is a lot of ice. Okay, so we're about 6 feet deep here. That's pretty good, but I'm gonna work in to get on top of that weed bed. But first I'll set a jaw jacker right here and get that set up right away, then we're fishing. Don't waste any time, that's the benefit of having a jaw jacker. You're fishing as soon as that line's in the water. It's so warm I could have brought the jigging jaw jackers today. Oh well. Gonna use this jaw jacker 29-inch rod, I think it is. Let's see. Yeah, jaw jacker 29-inch rod with a 7mm chartreuse tungsten and some marabou on it, and then a pink blob up top. Hang that top hook horizontally, and you can do that by twisting the knot on the eye of the hook. Oh, there's one already. I got one. Oh, he just bit. There's one already. He's there. I got one. Oh, look at that. That was so fast. That was the fastest Arctic grayling of my life. Look how beautiful that fin is. He hit that thing like 3 times, that little tungsten jig. I told you, this is going to be a fun day. Look at this beauty. That's how you know your hole placement is on point. You don't even get much time. Jaw jacker go. You don't even get to set your jaw jacker. Fish just comes in, marking hot on the sonar, and boom, bites twice. Well, this should be a fun little day if that action continues. Okay, maybe the next one won't be as fast. That's what happens when you drill new holes and there's a fish around. They just bite right away. That guy, he bit pretty light, so we'll set the trigger pretty light. Yeah, that's pretty good. So it just doesn't fall against gravity. Set this one up. And he came in about a foot off the bottom. So we'll just set it there. There we go. We're fishing. Let's drill some more holes and get another jawjacker in. I'll perforate this area a bit so we can see if we can find some cutthroat trout as well. So when I was just setting up that jawjacker, as soon as I went down, there was a fish there. He came in 3 times. I couldn't really feel if he was biting or not, but then he swam off. So that's a good sign. There's fish around. I'm in the right zone. That's kind of funny. When I dropped down into these holes, both holes, as soon as I put it down, there's a fish there. And now they've been sitting for 15 minutes while I've drilled some more holes and got my rod set up, and nothing's happening. So I'm gonna pull one of these jawjackers out and hop around like crazy because it seems they're spread out and maybe they're more aggressive today. They want some movement, not the dead stick presentation. But for now, I'm gonna put a frostbite spoon on, a little dinner bell, and then I'm going to keep a little 7mm tungsten jig with me since that's what that one hit. Tipped with mealworms, and let's see if we can get them. Okay, luckily I just saw a cutthroat trout go by on the jawjacker and he hit it about 4 or 5 times and it didn't set off. So they're biting it really lightly today, so I'm gonna have to set that trigger as light as it goes in order to catch them today. They're just mouthing it. So you want this thing to be able to drop without any resistance just like that, so it just sets the hook really quickly. Okay, there were most trap sensitive trigger, so the fish should bite and get hooked. So usually in the morning, fish are up in the shallows. So I'm going to start from my shallowest hole and then work my way out deeper. Since I know they're already in 6 feet of water, maybe they're also in shallower. It's a cool little lake that they stock pretty heavily with grayling and cutthroat trout. This looks like the fish are well fed too. They're nice and plump. So there must be tons of aquatic insects in this lake. There's huge weed beds and shoals, so I figure there's lots of food for all the fish to go around. That's why they look so healthy. That cutthroat trout that I saw come by on the underwater camera looked pretty good condition as well. Nice colorations on them. Too bad the jawjacker didn't go off, but I think we'll get some. I'm just gonna fish 3 minutes a hole. Keep on moving. There, I got him. I got one. Oh, that's a fighter. That's a good fight. Another grayling. Oh. Check out that spectacular fish, man. They love those tungsten jigs with the marabou. You just come in and inhale it. That cool fin up top. Some spotting on it. Beautiful fish. That is so cool catching grayling. And like I said, just doing 3 minutes a hole. I just got here, it was only about 1 minute, and that fish came in and just inhaled it. One thing I've really found that works well while ice fishing shallow water, slowly raising that lure up and down really gets their attention, because a lot of the aquatic life will swim up to the surface for some air and swim back down to the surface pretty quickly. So they're used to intercepting those bugs as they go up and down. So if you're just slowly raising it up and down, sometimes that really brings in their attention. And a lot of times fish are looking up. They're cruising mid water column in that shallow water and they're looking up. So sometimes they're right under the ice. So if you pull it up to the ice surface and drop it back down slowly, a lot of times they'll come in and check out your lure. So just sitting on spot and tapping it, you know, that's pretty typical ice fishing jigging. Just tap, 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 stop, tap, 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 stop. doesn't always work that well. So sometimes that slow rise up and down works much better. That's 3 minutes. Next hole. Man, 3 minutes goes by so fast. It's crazy. But man, if there's nothing around, I'll just keep moving to the next hole. I want to find an area where there's fish consistently coming through. And you know, just sitting and waiting is not always optimal. If I can find a really good fish highway where fish are consistently coming through, that's what I want. And the only way to find that is to move a lot. I can feel the wind starting to pick up. This storm front is gonna start to move in here, I think. Next, I'm gonna start just doing 2 minutes because this 3 minutes is feeling too long for me. Man, my hot action that started this morning has just dried up. I'm thinking it's a timing thing. I should have been here a little earlier. It seems the fish have really vacated this weed bed now. It was when I first got here and drilled those initial holes, there was fish when I dropped down both holes right away. Caught that one first drop, second hole, fish came in. Then I was messing with the camera, saw a cutthroat trout, and I caught that one pretty early in my jigging. But now they're just gone. Nothing's around. And I'm hopping holes every 2 to 3 minutes, and I've covered quite a few holes already, maybe 10 holes. And I've only marked that one fish that I caught, that last grayling. I haven't even marked another fish, so I might have to move out into deeper water to see if the fish have moved off this weed bed into some nearby deeper habitat. It's funny, the jawjacker hasn't even gone off once today, and I know there was at least one cutthroat trout that bit it lightly about 4 or 5 times. I have that on camera. When I was adjusting my camera, it came by, so you'll see that in the video. But then other than that, just the 2 grayling and marked one other fish that I wasn't really ready for, and I'm sure probably even nipped at my lure, but I just didn't feel it. That's about it. So that's interesting, because it seemed like when they were coming through, they were pretty aggressive, and then all of a sudden they're just gone. There's one. Oh, he just bit. There you go, got him. Got him. Oh, jumped right out of the hole. That's a lot skinnier one than the last 2. Maybe those last ones were females. This one might be a male. They just inhale it so aggressively. And I just got to this hole like 20-30 seconds. So that's why I like moving around lots. He came in, he bit it, I set the hook, I missed it. I dropped the hook back down, and as it was falling, he came back around and inhaled that jig. For a fish that has a relatively small mouth, they sure do get the job done. There's one. Oh, another nice grayling. Big dorsal fin. That tungsten jig. Here comes that storm they were forecasting. This strong wind is blowing in. I might have to narrate the rest of this video. I'm still gonna try to catch a cutthroat, so I might go find one out deeper, because the grayling are really in this weedy, shallow kind of area, and they're super aggressive today. I've already caught 4. Well, it's funny. When they come around, they're super aggressive, but there just aren't that many around. That's okay. We're having fun. It's getting windy though. Kind of slowed down on the grayling action here, so I think I might go over to a point where the water drops off the fastest. It's a very kind of slowly sloped basin. It doesn't get that deep, so I'll try to pick the steepest drop off and see if there's any cutthroat trout there. Okay, now I've moved over to what I think is the 2nd largest weed bed on the lake, adjacent to the steepest drop off in the lake. It's not much of a drop off at all. It's a pretty slow taper, but I'm hoping those 2 things together will hold some fish in this area. The storm is coming. I need to catch a cutthroat trout to make this trip a full success. Already got my grayling, but need some cutties. Let's get them. Set up 2 jawjackers. Both of them are still on the weed bed. I'm gonna drill out further and see if I can get off this weed flat. And then maybe if the fish are not in the weeds, hopefully they're out there in the deeper water just cruising around. That storm is coming though, so we gotta catch cutthroat trout. Otherwise, this adventure has not been fulfilled. We caught grayling, which was what I really wanted to catch here, but I'd like to catch West Slope cutthroat trout. They're such a beautiful fish. Stick around, let's get it done. Nothing's happening in these shallower holes, so I'm just gonna work my way out deeper, pop one of these jaw jackers out, grab a jigging rod, and just cover water, find out what depth they're at. That storm is holding off a bit, but might come any minute. It's the clouds are starting to look heavy, so it might start snowing soon. Yeah, in the distance it kind of looks like it. Here he comes. I got him. I got him. I got him. Oh, another grayling. Look at the beautiful colors on this one. This one's dorsal fin is just amazing. It's got like these beautiful markings. This one's so pretty. Nice and purple. Came in and hit it twice. Let's get him back in the water. Still no cutthroat. We got one. Way in there. He's still there. Such a cute little grayling on the blob. He bit the blob. Such a cute little one. Still no cutthroat. All I can catch is grayling today. Where are those crazy cutthroat trout? At least it's fun. At least it's fun to catch those grayling. They're so pretty. Such a unique fish. You don't really catch them a lot of places. Have to go up into the Canada, Yukon, Alaska. Crazy grayling love this tungsten jig. Oh, I got one on the jaw jacker. Another nice grayling on my blob. Beautiful fish. Seems like the bite's back on. Two grayling in a row. I don't know if my camera caught that one. It said I had to repair the file, so hopefully it works. Look at that. That's a pretty nice big grayling on that blob again. Just eating those blobs. We got double header. We got double header. Two beautiful grayling double header. Oh man, that's awesome. Beautiful fish. Look at the dorsal fins on those fish. Just gorgeous. I'm gonna let them go. Let's go down under the ice now with this CanFish CF1 camera and check out what's exactly happening down there. I have a 2-hook rig here with a tungsten jig on the bottom and a blob fly on the top. Fortunately, this information gathered from watching the underwater footage is really helpful. I can see that these fish are coming through mostly mid to upper water column. Very few are coming down below the mid water level. Here you'll see outside the reed bed there's a lot of underwater weeds, including these lily pads, and the fish are just cruising through the open pathways around these weeds and picking off some sort of aquatic insects and looking for food. It doesn't seem like the bottom tungsten jig is getting much attention at all, and probably if I had these lures up higher, I would have caught even more fish. This is kind of cool. One hits the upper lure and another one was chasing the bottom one as the top one had pulled it, got them all aggressive and excited. That was actually a jawjacker dry fire right there. Here's another one coming through, and I wonder if this lure was up a bit higher, if it would have got more attention from some of these fish. But with the jawjacker, you have to set it low enough so that the hook is not pulled up into the hole when it goes off. Otherwise, you'll just knock the fish off most of the time. Still no cutthroat. Just lots of grayling, one after another on the jawjackers. Got some cool footage on the underwater camera of these graylings swimming around down there. So I'll pop this jawjacker out and I'll keep on jigging with my rod. I might have to go in search of cutthroat in my old holes where I at least saw one today on the underwater camera, but I have not caught one. Look at it, it's snowing now. The storm has arrived. Got another one. Oh, it's a little one. Oh, what? They really like those blobs now, just stationary. There was two that came in at once. This one grabbed it. Look at the fin colors on that one. I don't know if you can pick that up in the camera. It's beautiful. Beautiful fish. What a gorgeous fish. What I've noticed about these grayling is they really like movement, so they do come in really well when you're moving it around, and I think they're a little bit more aggressive if you move it a bit. But fortunately they do hit the jawjacker, which is totally stationary, and that seems to work really well today as well. But I do have it tipped with bait and they're hitting the blob, that little fly that's just some, chenille and a piece of mealworm, and that's what they're eating. Pink and olive, they both hit those. So now the snow is kind of settling down. That initial front where it was snowing pretty good and it was blowing a little bit, the bite went insane, which is what I often find right at the front of a snowstorm, is that it can really turn on the bite. And I had a flurry of action there, even double headers, jawjacker going off, my rod going off. The storm has passed us by, the front is gone, and it's just this calm, blissful area behind the storm front, and it's just softly snowing right now, but the fish just completely turned off. So I think I'm gonna go try my holes that I punched this morning, because I did see a West Slope cutthroat trout in those holes on the camera. So maybe I'm gonna leave this one in to record since I already have it set up with the video going, and I'm gonna hop over to my other holes and do some jigging over there and see if I can't finish off the day with one West Slope cutthroat trout. That would just be amazing. Look at that. Look at that dorsal fin. Beautiful. Wowzers, look at that fish. Gorgeous. Back underwater we go. Check out more of these fish swimming through and see if the same as before is true. The fish seem to have gotten more aggressive again during this later part of the day. They started to turn on and more fish were coming through, and actually the schools of fish were much bigger than earlier coming through. Check out the size of this big grayling with a big humpback. I love how the males have a huge dorsal fin and their tail is kind of reddish in coloration. Really a beautiful fish. The smaller ones don't have as impressive of a color or fins, but they're all great to catch. Here you see a couple go by one way and another one goes by another way. Here comes one back further and it's coming in towards my lure, and then all of a sudden veers off another way. Here's a whole group of fish. Look at that, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then another bunch comes through. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is there more there? 4, another 4. It might have been the same 4 that just swam in a circle twice. Here's another one coming behind some weeds. I cannot find a cutthroat trout today. There's a bunch. Got one. There's like 3 grayling coming at once. Probably a bunch of little guys, judging by the size of this one. Well, this turned out to be a really good grayling fishing day. I can't believe it. I didn't know I would catch this many fish. It's pretty good action. I thought this snowstorm would bring on some good activity, but I didn't know it would do this. I also am a little surprised that I can't catch cutthroat trout. I think I've said that a bunch of times, but it's just shocking to me. There's supposed to be a lot of cutthroat trout in this lake, and I fished the whole thing. Weed beds, the very subtle points on the lake. I fished from the shoreline all the way out to the middle of the lake. I fished the water column right under the ice, right to the bottom. You think I could catch a cutthroat trout? No way. I got a big grayling here. Big grayling. Nice grayling. Oh yeah. What a gorgeous fish. Look at that beauty with that gorgeous fin right there. Oh man, that's an awesome fish. Spectacular. Wow, this has just been an amazing day. My first day fishing for Arctic grayling through the ice in many, many years. I did a video many years ago in Canmore, Alberta, fishing Corey Pond. I don't even know if it's legal to fish there anymore, but I had a great time there fishing for, I actually caught a brown trout and grayling, and it's been many years until I've actually caught grayling again, and today has just been fabulous. Lots of fish caught, and they're super aggressive, hitting both the jaw jacker and my jigging line. I've got some great underwater footage from the CanFish CF1, so I hope you really enjoyed this video. Thanks for sticking around till the end. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and follow me. Hit that notification bell so you get alerted to when our next adventure post comes out. Thanks for sharing with a friend, hitting the like button, and leaving a comment down in the section below. Oh yeah, don't forget to read my description. I usually put more information in there about the rods and whatever else I'm using. So thanks for watching. God bless. Go catch a big one. See you later.